Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kyra, and here on this channel, we absolutely love our makeup. And we especially love using the makeup we already have. We're just here for real makeup, for real life and real people like us. So today's all about using the makeup that I already have because I am fulfilling a request to shop my stash for some of my most neglected makeup that I haven't used for a long time. And I'm really excited to do this with you guys. We're gonna jump into the shopping my stash and then straight into the get ready with me. So I hope you enjoy this video and I hope you will continue to give me your requests in the future. I love fulfilling requests. I always want to make content that you guys want to watch.
Alrighty, let's pick some makeup. This is my foundation drawer and probably the most neglected foundation that might work for my skin tone would be this number 7 Protect and Perfect. And I haven't tried this shade since I swapped with Angela. I originally had the shade Calico and this is Warm Beige. So let's pick that one. This is my ever dwindling primer collection. And I have not pulled out the e.l.f. Mint Melt primer in a while. So let's see how this one does with the number 7 foundation. Oh boy, for concealer, let's see. About half of these are neglected, I would say. Could use the number 7, although I think I used that recently. You know which one I've been wanting to try again is the Too Faced Born This Way multi-use concealer in vanilla. So we'll use that. For powder, let's see here. I use my Huda Beauty all the time. I haven't used my Laura Mercier powder in a while, but I also haven't used my MAC one in a while. Which one? I think let's go with the Laura Mercier. For bronzer, I kind of have an idea. I don't know. There's so many that I haven't used in a while. One, though, that I've had on my brain lately is this one from Wet n Wild, the Color Icon bronzer in the shade, why can't I think of it? Sunset Striptease. But I've also been thinking about, well then, rude. My Jouer combo here, but I think let's go with the Color Icon. I've been really wanting to pull this out for some reason. Okay, here we are at the highlight drawer. We've got MAC Soft and Gentle I haven't used in a while. I have my, oh, this is definitely neglected. This is my Ofra and Samantha March highlight. So actually let's pick that one. Why not? The next question is cream or powder blush. I kind of know, I think, which palette I want to use. And I feel like a really soft blush will be in order for that. I think this one from Flower Beauty could be really nice. I also have these Juicy Pang blushers that might be nice and soft. I guess I'll pull that one out just in case. I do have, let's see, I have e.l.f. Always Rosy here. I also have this little duo that is very neglected. So maybe I'll just use the blush from here and call it a day. So this is what we have so far. And Now let's go look at my palettes and some lippies. Alright, so here we are in my palette drawer. There are a ton of neglected palettes in here, as always, but you know, a girl's only got so many eyeballs. I just need to slow down on acquiring. But the one that I want to use today, I think, is this one right here. This is the Lime Crime Venus XL palette. I received this as a gift from one of you guys earlier this year, and I've used it a few times off camera, but I have yet to use it on camera, and I just wanted this palette for so long that I really feel like I didn't give it its due yet. So I think we're gonna use this today, which is why I wanted like a softer pink blush. So that's the palette. Now, I don't know if I want lipstick or what exactly I want, but let's start up top in my lipsticks. I haven't used actually one of my favorites. This is Flower Beauty Spiced Petal, which is kind of a dupe for Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk. I actually prefer it to the Pillow Talk lipstick, but I'm gonna put that one up there as a maybe. And then I also have MAC Patisserie that I haven't used in a while. This is, I think, a little peachy for what I'm wanting. I really want just like a soft pinky spring look. I shouldn't say one, but both of my ColourPop lippy sticks tend to get neglected. This is the shade Brink, which is definitely a really pretty shade. I think it's going to be a little dark for what I'm looking for, I think. I also have this shade of the ColourPop Just a Tints. This is the shade A Go-Go. That's a possibility because it is so sheer. I'll put that up there as a possibility. This NARS one, this is one of the satin lip pencils. On the right is A Go-Go, and on the left is the NARS satin pencil. I think I definitely want to swap out the NARS pencil for the ColourPop one. I don't think that's just not what I'm looking for. Let's look at gloss, if we even can, because this thing is a hot mess. What else do we have that we might want to use? I have this tinted lip oil from e.l.f. in the shade Nude Kiss that is really pretty, that I think would go over either lipstick. But I also have this Milani lip plumper in the shade Luminoso that I think would be pretty layered over either of those. So I think I'm going to take both of these and both of these and just kind of see what we're feeling toward the end of the look.
All right, I love shopping my stash with you guys. Let's get started with the e.l.f. Mint Melt Primer. I'm going to use a little more than I normally would. Oh, she's spitting at me. And I'm mostly going to apply this in my T-zone. It's definitely been a while since I've used this one. And it still smells good, I think. I did actually, during the Sephora sale, pick up the actual Hydro Grip primer in a mini. So I will be trying that at some point soon. I'm gonna kind of let this sit, let her get tacky, and see if it helps keep my makeup on today. As you would have seen in the primer drawer, it is dwindling. I am working my way through a bunch of primers and just trying to pinpoint a few that really do something that I need them to do, like keep my makeup on all day. For foundation, it is the number 7 Protect and Perfect Advanced All-in-One Foundation. It is hydrating and age-defying, medium coverage, sunscreen, broad spectrum SPF 50 plus, and I have the shade Warm Beige. As I said, I'm gonna put a little on the back of my hand here. This is just how I've been liking to do my foundation lately. That way, if I end up with excess, it's on the back of my hand and not on my face. Ooh, this might be a little dark for me right now. I guess we shall find out. Oh, that's not too bad. We'll definitely shear it out. This definitely feels hydrating, though, I will say that. A little friend hiding over here. I think if I used more product, it might be more of a medium coverage, but I think I tend to wear things at more of a light coverage. And I'm just gonna take the rest off the back of my hand, really not much, but essentially cleaning off the back of my hand, and I'm gonna just go ahead in with my sponge and press this down into the skin. This is just how I really have been enjoying to apply my base products lately. Also pull it down the neck in case we need to a little bit. I look kind of tan, don't I? Or maybe I just look, maybe I just match my neck. I don't know if it's this foundation that's so glowy or if it was the primer. Very interesting. All right. Next, the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. This is just one that I have never gotten on with. I'm going to take a little bit. This is definitely neglected, but I've been using it the last couple days under my eyes. And I want to try this concealer like that. I saw that on TikTok, which you'll hear more about in Saturday's video. I have 2 get ready with me's this week. I try not to do that too often, but the one that's going up on Saturday is pretty short. But anyways, I find that the Flawless filter has been helping my under eyes to look a little more hydrated. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply some of this. This is the shade Vanilla. And I just had to have this, you know, after hearing about it for so long. I wanted it, and finally I picked it up, and then I didn't like it. But maybe it just needs a little tweaking, because I think it's starting to look pretty nice. I do love that Flawless filter under the eye look, though. I mean, I don't think you can argue with that. I mean, it's not my favorite concealer of life, but it looks better than any other time I've worn it. I'm going in with kind of the clean side of the sponge to make sure I have it all pressed in. Have you guys ever tried the Flawless filter under your eyes? If you have it, because I think that could be the way to go, maybe. I'm also going to use it to cover up some areas. I'm gonna use the brush for that though, maybe, at least to start. All right, for powder, we have our Laura Mercier loose translucent, or translucent loose setting powder. But first, the old trusty number 7 powder. I don't use anything else under my eyes, so hopefully this will help the situation a little bit. And I'm back to applying it with my fingers. If you've been on my channel for a long time, do you remember when I used to set my under eyes this way? I just find it makes it look so much more natural, and it really presses it in and uses the warmth of my fingers to sort of melt it in with the concealer, I feel like. So I've kind of been going back to doing this the last few days again. What am I doing? Who am I? I don't know. I don't know what this e.l.f. brush is meant for. It's the 103 in their like Beautifully Bare line. Kind of cut at an angle, and I think it might be nice for powder, so I'm going to try it that way. Today, at least for the T-zone, I think it would be nice to just kind of press it in. Yeah, I like how this applied the powder. I mean, I think it would depend on the powder. Some powders would be too heavy, I think, to apply this way, but not this one. Alright, starting with bronzer. Again, we have the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer, and this is in the shade Sunset Striptease. It definitely has a little bit of a luminous quality. So I'm going to use a big fluffy brush here from Repper, the number 30. It's been a long time since I used this bronzer, but it's such a nice bronzer, especially for a luminous bronzer. This is when I thought about working on hitting pan on this year. We'll see. I'm not having great luck with hitting pan on bronzers this year, man. Right now I'm working on the Physicians Formula. So that's gonna be a long haul. The butter bronzer, I feel like it always takes people a good amount of time to hit pan on that one, but I'm honestly enjoying every minute of it. For highlight, I pulled my Ofra and Samantha March. I got mine back when it was called the @March Beauty Word, but it is now called the Start Inspired, I think. I just swirl my brush in both. And here we go. It's been a while since I used a highlighter that's like this beaming. Woo! Add a little bit to the brow bone. It's so pretty, but wowzer. Like, boom, boom. I just am not, I mean, this is not for the faint at heart. So I'm definitely pressing it down. My sponge is only lightly damp. And this Natasha Denona Mini Blush and Glow is so pretty. I always forget about it though. I do love this pink shade. So I'm going to take my little blush brush here and look. Woo! That's probably enough for both cheeks. I mean, we're just going to have glowy cheeks today. Holy moly. I hope these like cheeks things are not too, wow. I find if I hold my blush brush way down low, I'm less likely to over apply. That is pretty. Cheeks are done. I do want to take my setting spray. This is actually the Milani Fruit Fetish Make It Last in Mango Coconut. And I'm just gonna spray my sponge and sort of press everything into the cheeks versus spraying it on my face and kind of compromising my base or the longevity of my base. When I feel like I'm having a little texture, I go ahead and do it this way. And that's another way too, like if you get a setting spray and it's a little too aggressive for you or something, you can always just spray it on your beauty sponge or even a brush. I've seen Sabrina do that and apply it that way, and it will help your makeup last. It just won't over apply and maybe, like I said, wreck the longevity of your base. Now it is time for eyeshadow primer and brows. So I'm gonna pop off of here, and then when I come back, we'll be all ready for eyeshadow. So we're going to get into the Lime Crime Venus XL palette. I'm super excited, but you won't begrudge a girl a little bit of pan that palette action, right? I'm going to go ahead and set my primer with the shade Sand, this guy right here, and then I'm going to use this shade Journey as my transition. There are, I don't know, there's not quite a transition shade in the palette that's light enough for my preferences, and also I'm working really hard to hit pan on Journey before my update, if not another shadow as well. One other thing that I've noticed about this palette is that it actually gets hard pan really easily, or a lot of the shades seem to have hard pan on them, so I'm not for sure what that's all about. Let's go in with this pink right here. I don't know who I am. I'm just going by the seat of my pants. I have no plans, but I'm not one that normally does pink eyeshadow, so why not? Let's try. I just think this is a beautiful spring palette. It very nearly made the cut of my top 5 palettes, except for I just don't feel like I've used it enough to really give it that stamp of a top 5 palette. And I think this palette too is one of those that's probably really nice for knocking out a quick look once you get to know the palette a little more. I could see a ton of like 1 and 2 shadow looks coming out of here. Well, sorry, the pink shade was called In Bloom. I never even said that. Now I think I'll go into this matte brown right here called Ripe. It's a really warm brown from the looks of it. I'm picking that up on an angled brush. I'm going to start it on the outer corner of my eye and then start blending it into the crease. I think these angled brushes are just perfect for this type of application. I don't know what they're, you know, technically meant for, but I really like them for the outer corner / crease because that longer cut of bristles fits right into the crease. There's so many good shades in here. It's no wonder I'm having trouble deciding what to do. This matte down here is just absolutely screaming at me, so I think I'm going to pick that up on a pencil brush. I'm just going to kind of roll my brush into that shade and then tap it off really well. And what I'm going to do is almost like wing it out on my outer part of my lid. It's like a nice plummy burgundy. This shade Eve is really pretty. It's this one right here, so I think I'll go with that to start. Kind of place that on the, like from the middle out. Trying to be careful not to completely cover up our little wing. I really want to go with this shade right here, which is called Myth. It's a nice light green that has a little bit of a like maybe goldish shift to it. Okay, yeah, that works. That picks up nicely on this brush. I'm getting excited, you guys. This is a really pretty palette. I've done kind of like easier, quicker looks since I've had this. So on the lower lash line, I think I just want to go with a little bit of this brown right here. I'm just going to take that same pencil brush that we used for the deep burgundy shade in a corner. You know I gotta do it. I have to do it. This one right here, which is called Obscure. So I'm taking like a little bit of a bigger pencil brush here. And this I am going to kind of pull up a little bit as well as highlight the inner corner. That's so pretty. Wow, it's been a while since I did a look like this. This is fun. I'm gonna put a little Pixie Eye Bright on the lower inner rim. I don't really have any neglected mascaras. I have 2 open right now, and I used the M Cosmetics Pick Me Up yesterday. I'm gonna use my Sephora Big By Definition mascara today. Plus this gives me like nice long fluttery lashes. I'm going to use my Milani Understatement lip liner in Desert Rose. I decided to go with my favorite. This is the Flower Beauty Petal Pout lipstick in the shade Spiced Petal. Oh my goodness, it matches that lip liner like perfectly. I feel like this one's just a little bit longer lasting Then the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. So I'm gonna kind of press that down. And for glosses, we had the e.l.f. and the Milani. I feel like that's gonna be too close. Let's do Milani Luminoso. These are the Keep It Nourishing Lip Plumpers. Keep it nourishing, keep it full nourishing lip plumpers. And this one is so pretty, right in the center. I love it. I finished one of these in this shade before, and it's because it's just so pretty to add to other lip colors. So let's assess the situation. I think we looking pretty good. I feel like I could use more blush, but that's always the case. Okay, I'm gonna take the hair down. I'm sure it's not done drying, but you know, for the big reveal and all. All right, here we are. I feel a little bit like this lady on the cover. What do you think? I'm just kidding. What do you guys think of today's look? I really liked it, and more than anything, I really just enjoyed taking a little break from project panning and shop my stash and just going through my stash, pulling out some things that I've been wanting to use or that have been languishing at the back of my drawers. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you and your time as always. Let me know down below, what are some of the products that are languishing in your collection, and are you going to pull them out now? As well as if you want to see any more looks with the Lime Crime Venus XL2 palette, or any other palettes that you might have seen in my collection today. And with all that said, I hope all of your makeup days are absolutely beautiful makeup days, and I will see you in my next video very, very soon.